Yeah. They both got a seal.
Ace, I thought
Well,
this was funny. Okay. So I got a comment on, if you remember last time you were on, or it might have been 2 times ago at this point, we
Mhm.
argued about Sakura for like 40 minutes. The
True.
comments do not like me on this one.
I wasn't there for that.
Bro is just arguing for the sake of entertainment. He doesn't believe even a wick of this. Stop emoji.
Oh, if only.
Exactly. Like who's gonna tell him? I thought it was funny.
Hey, look, to me, Sakura is not a well-written character to begin with from Kishimoto, sadly, but nobody's perfect. But overall, as a character, Sakura holds her own well against everybody not named Naruto and Sasuke.
Well, hang on, Ace. Like you
Mhm.
just said, nobody's perfect.
Yeah,
Sakura is written as an imperfect character. Doesn't that paradox make her perfect?
I would say it leaves open the idea of perfection because it should be a goal and not a tangible destination. And me personally, I don't mind Sakura's arc because while these are children being trained for war, they are still children. And as tropey as it is, I've known girls growing up that were very boy crazy like Sakura. I thought they were stupid then also, but that was just a young ace. As an older ace, I still think it's very stupid to be that boy crazy. Anyway,
Okay, that
but
makes
I can
sense.
understand it a bit better, and I like the growth that she's shown. I might have liked it better had they not ended up getting together, but I can also understand for some people I know, they have been in and out of relationships unofficially with the same person for 14 years, and they swear up and down that this time it's all going to work. And I'm like, I don't know what level of delusional that you're in, but I think it needs to be medicated and it needs to be researched because that could change the world if we can get people to be that delusional about reality.
So, out of curiosity, because it seems like you're really focusing on part two Sakura for that. What do you think about part one Sakura's writing?
In part one, Sakura's writing, I think that she was written kind of in the same way that most of the women were. They kind of all failed the Bechdel test. Most of their conversations around the male characters in general. They have almost zero agency of their own that isn't tied to one of the other characters. And though Sakura shows some moments where she seemed to be on par with them, that quickly got over eclipsed and thrown out. Like the fact that she has such super chakra control at a young age, even better than Kakashi, a special Jonin, and it's just left there to rot shows that Kakashi is a terrible, terrible mentor when it comes to being a trainer if your name's not Sasuke. Because I mean, everybody else on Team 7 was kind of an afterthought.
So,
It's like,
does
oh, I
it
forgot you were there, Sakura. Yeah, go do some things. Go walk around the village. It's fine.
would it change your mind on that if part 1 was written with a lot of like masculine identity narrative thematic stuff in mind?
Oh, I'm aware that it was. By comparison, just if you compare the male and female characters, their writing, even from episode to episode, is almost night and day. Even from the rookie nine and everything like that, from everyone that you see, they all are kind of questionable, including even when it comes to the older characters. Other than Tsunade is like the first real character I think we see that's a woman that seems to have her own agency in Naruto as a total. Even Kurenai was basically just fodder to show off how powerful Itachi was. The cool, you're the specialist for genjutsu around here. Don't you ever talk to me about genjutsu. Get out of my way. Kakashi, move. Little
Well, to be
Sharingan guy.
fair, Kurenai did the best there out of anyone against Itachi. But outside of that, I would say
Yeah.
there's more male fodder characters than there is females. I think that's just by nature of Naruto having more male characters than females in general. But it's not like Kurenai is standing out as the
Oh,
exception in that regard. It's
Kurenai did exactly what she should do in that battle. That is her move. And as a
yeah.
newer Jonin, she doesn't know all about Itachi and his history. Making that move, going to your best move to try to take down a dangerous threat according to two of the strongest guys you know, makes perfect sense. It's just unfortunate that she hit him and didn't hit the other prime target. Though, why would y'all let her run up on? Why in the first place would y'all let her go by Itachi by herself in the first place? Feels like a failure of everything to do. Like, we understand who Itachi is. Y'all grew up around Itachi. Itachi's been that guy and led the Anbu at 13. But you're gonna send Kurenai to go stall him at all? I feel like we're letting her out there to die. That's what I feel like we're letting do.
So I think like something I'm getting at is Naruto shows both the male and female like roles in the Naruto universe of society, but obviously it explores that male perspective more.
Mhm.
For an example, through characters like Shikamaru, who like half of his dialogue, half of his narrative, pretty much, especially in part one, is about what it means to be a man. That's like the exact same thing you were explaining with the females, how they have no agency because it's all about the men. Well, then I would say the same thing about Shikamaru from part one, and to that extent, that goes with a lot of other characters as well. That would be men.
Well, see, I would say to a degree, a lot of those characters are looking to how, but it's looking at how they can grow overall, but not in relation to something. Like Sakura is basically focused on Sasuke the whole time, up through him actually leaving. And then that's her spurring moment to try to do better, but it's still with the goal of getting Sasuke back. Naruto has that same goal, but for Naruto, it's about getting a friend slash brother back that he feels is basically being taken away from him, who's already lost everybody. So for him, it's a different version of I'm not doing it out of love romantically. I'm doing it because I love him like a brother and I don't want anybody to take my family away.
I
With
think that's that right there. I would say that's a little bit too simple of a view for me. I would say that
Mhm.
Naruto and Sakura are doing it for the same reason. I would say that yes, like you described earlier, and Sakura's voice actor says this in like every convention interview she's in. Sakura starts as a very girl character, crazy, and in fact, it's funny because Sakura's voice actor and a lot of girls that Sakura's voice actors know were also boy crazy when they were a young girl, which I think is
Yeah.
very cool, actually. But I think very quickly we see that Sakura blossoms into her own character, and she's not just that; she's a member of Team Seven, and that's how she's viewing Sasuke for a lot of it. It's more of her bond and friendship in the same way that Naruto is in a way. It's not brother in the same way that Sakura's not viewing, oh, that's my brother Sasuke, but it's still the Team Seven dynamic that they're trying to reunite.
To a degree, I would say that for Shippuden is where it feels that way. It doesn't feel that way in Naruto to me. It feels more romantic for Sakura. But I think after the time skip in the training, it does go to Sasuke is our teammate. We're going to get him back. And I think that that growth happens during that time skip that we don't see, where Naruto was already at that point before the time skip. And I think that's where Sakura catches up to Naruto at that point of mentally. We're going to get Sasuke back because he's our Sasuke, not he's my Sasuke and all romantic and lovey dovey, but this is our friend, this is our comrade, however you want to put it. We're bringing him back because we failed to do so before. Naruto failing at the last second of not being able to stop Sasuke when he wanted to walk away, and Sakura from feeling too weak to even be a part of that mission to ever even have a chance to try to stop Sasuke and wanting to make sure that never happens again, which I appreciate getting there. But up until through most of that, most people looking at the female characters in it, most of them are centered around one of the guys in the show. Even Tamari, who a lot of people love because she comes in as strong and confident and loud, gets immediately tied into Shikamaru and they end up married. That never stops. You always see one with the other later on.
So I don't blame you because I remembered this the same way, but you're actually remembering the Sasuke retrieval arc scene the opposite, to where Sakura did want to go, and Shikamaru's the one who told her no. Not because she's
Yeah.
too weak, but because he understands her feelings for Sasuke and doesn't want that to become a hindrance on the mission.
I mean, if we think about it skill wise, Sakura stands zero chance.
Okay, we're not getting into that power scaling argument again, but I would disagree.
I mean, if we put it out there from Sakura's own combat capabilities that we've seen in the show up to that point so far, she is resistant to genjutsu. What jutsu does she have that can compete with any of the sound for or stopping Sasuke?
Okay, so she can help against Tayuya.
She can help against Tayuya, except she can't get close to Tayuya, and she more than likely can get knocked taken out by Tayuya. If she hears it, she can break herself out, but even that does take a little bit of time. And now you got Shikamaru worrying about Sakura while trying to fight Tayuya.
We do have to remember that Sakura was already training chakra control before she met up with Tsunade. In fact, she was a prodigy from it from the very get-go. To where you can consider it filler, whatever, but in the land of T-Arc, she's already super strong. So she might be able to just like one punch knock out Tayuya.
To clarify, Oodie, is your argument that Sakura could 1v1 and win a Sound 4? Is your argument that she is comparable to the other members like Kiba? Or is it that if she was just added to like Kiba's team or Shikamaru's team, she would be relevant and helpful? Which of
Yeah,
those
she
two
would
you
just assist. I don't think she would 1v1 because, like Naruto, I mean, Naruto's technically volunteering himself, but realistically, Naruto wanted to keep going so he could be the one to fight Sasuke. Let's just be real. Sakura's the because again, that's why Shikamaru doesn't want to bring her. It's like Shikamaru doesn't know this, but like he knows that Sakura wanted to go with Sasuke, and those feelings he doesn't want on the mission.
Yeah.
But that being said, we do see that Sakura does have the maturity to where she can volunteer herself to stay behind if she thinks it's going to help for the mission to bring back Sasuke. We technically see that in, again, it's filler, but the very next arc with they go to Orochimaru's hideout, and she's like trying to like give money to Jiraiya to help the mission and all these other things that Naruto's telling her, no, he's just gonna waste it, and all these other things. But like, if it's gonna help the mission, then she's gonna want to do it because the mission is to bring back Sasuke. She wants to try and make sure it's a success, even if it comes at like a hindrance to her personal feelings. She's willing to put it aside. But besides that, again, Naruto is more focused on exploring the more masculine side of society, even though both are present. But obviously, because of that, Sakura and Ino and all the other girls, Hinata, they're still present in the story, but they aren't necessarily being sidelined, in my opinion. Rather, they're exploring the opposite end of that gender dynamic. The girls, Sakura is essentially trying to be one of the guys, but because she's not a guy and she's in the girl part of society, that's a little bit harder for her. So she's a little bit farther behind. And in fact, she sees Naruto and Sasuke's backs in the future. But like this is like the whole idea with they're being surrounded by the guys that are always trying to push themselves because they're stupid guys, as Ino and Sakura puts it. They're surrounded by Naruto, Sasuke, and Rock Lee, who are pushing each other because of their rivalry. Sakura and Ino don't realize it as much, but they're doing the exact same thing despite being girls. In fact, we start to see that especially with the training with Tsunade, but generally that's still happening. But Sakura does blossom into her own. In fact, I would argue the first time we see hints of Sakura being more than just boy crazy would be when she thinks Sasuke died in the Land of Waves. I don't think she would have cried like that if she was just boy crazy for Sasuke. So I'm not saying it's more than that or she is something more than that, but there's at least showings of her being more than that early on. I do think Forest of Death, obviously she's thinking back to the Land of Waves, how, oh, Naruto and Sasuke were ahead of her, and that she wasn't able to help out, and she wanted to, and that's happening even now, and she wants to help out. That's why she's going to fight the Sound Trio. But I think more importantly than that, this is where you really, outside of her blossoming with the whole Ino narrative, where you really understand it's more than just a boy craze that Sakura has, is when Sakura gets the curse mark, and Sakura has a care about that. Sasuke gets a curse mark, and Sakura has a care about that. It's more than just general empathy, and it's more than just, oh, I romantically like Sasuke. She doesn't want Sasuke to be going through that, and she herself feels terrible about it, and is keeping a lot of awareness and insight on that situation, and really doesn't want to make it worse. And Kakashi tries to help with that, but arguably probably only just makes that whole situation worse in the first place. But that's where you really get to start seeing it, I
To a
think.
degree, I can give it that she had a she had an awareness, I would say, but I don't think that happened till the Forest of Death when she cut her hair. Under the idea that, yeah, Sasuke likes long hair is what her and Ino assumed, which is why they grew their hair out in the first place. Whatever. But with that hair being cut off, she does that because tactically in the moment, that's what is needed to be able to try to fight them off. Brilliant moment, but it goes back to a lot of what's the best way to say it? It goes back to eventually that term of whining to Sasuke about however you want to put it, because she doesn't continue to take those steps. But growth isn't linear. But the vast majority of that, which I think was far too long, was spent on the idea of her with Sasuke in some future.
I don't think we really get a lot of that in the latter half of part 1 is my thing. It feels like she's defending Sasuke because she wants Sasuke to be safe and protected because that's a comrade, that's teammate. It's like Sasuke protecting Sakura and Naruto from Gaara saying, "Get out of here, I don't ever want to see comrades fall in front of me ever again." Yes, that's Itachi narrative stuff, but that's also Team 7 comrade stuff. That's the exact same thing Naruto and Sakura feel for each other. That's the dynamic. It's shared all three ways. It's in their own each unique interest of a way, but it's still the same thing, generally.
I think it's shared more in that heightened moment of immediate danger where they
Of
do
course.
believe they could and likely die.
Yeah.
But in the moments leading up to that, it's very much more a more romantic focus from Sakura towards Sasuke versus a comrade. That definitely doesn't come until basically near the end of the first part of Naruto.
But then I would say the same thing about Naruto and Sasuke is until they're pushed, they're just rivals who bicker and hate each other. But again, when they're pushed, they're best friends who want to save each other's lives.
I would say that they started out as hate each other, but I feel through from by the land of waves, the first arc, they are rivals that respect the power and abilities of each other. They just can't verbalize that because they wrote them as emotionally non-intelligent boys, so they don't know how to verbalize to each other. Hey, back there, you did something that I thought was really impressive. Hey, I thought you were really impressive. No, for them, they still have to have their animosity because one, it's funnier to write of a knucklehead Naruto still trying to compare himself to Sasuke, who is an elitist. And as an elitist myself, I can recognize how ego bruising Sasuke was because it starts him on his whole spiral. If he's not the best of the actual rookies here, and he can't outpace and basically destroy Naruto at everything, he is not making progress the way Naruto is, which a natural genius who's been working hard his whole time, his life, versus someone with natural talent who's just now learning the basics. It's Bakugo and Deku. You can't learn and elevate each other at the same pace. Somebody going from level 1 to level 50 is going to be able to do so quicker than somebody going from level 50 to level 60 just because of the amount of experience needed. The higher up you go, the tougher it gets. So Sasuke seeing that is what spurns him in the whole idea that he needs to do something for more power because he begins to feel powerless, which up until the Land of Waves, Sasuke has looked virtually untouchable at most times. And then he runs into people that can touch him, which lets him know that he's still a small fish in a really big pond. And for him, his focus is Itachi. Sakura's focus is generally Sasuke. I can agree that during the Chunin exam, it becomes more about his well-being because of the curse mark and her seeing a different side to, as she normally says, her Sasuke. And for Naruto, it was about trying to unconsciously, I would say, try to build that connection because all he wanted was acknowledgement from Sasuke, who refused to give it to him.
Well, you definitely worded that with a tone that sounded like you disagreed, but all of your words were like right in line with what I was saying. So it's yeah, I agree. It's not going to be like Black Clover. It's not the Yuno Asta rivalry to where they're outwardly openly just expressing how much they think each other are fantastic and awesome at all times despite being rivals. It's unless they're being pushed, yeah, they're gonna be the bickering, argumentative guys, unlike Sakura. But it's interesting because so one of your points was that the girls don't really feel like characters because they're chasing after the guys or whatever. Okay, I'll even give you that. Sakura's goal is Sasuke. But like you said, Sasuke's goal is Itachi. Both of these characters' goals is a different character. In fact, they're both boys. They're both boy crazy. So how does it get to where Sakura's bad, but Sasuke's good?
Okay. Well, let's look into that then.
Well,
There, let's
He
both.
answers. I'll give the obvious answer.
I mean, they're both
Sasuke is not trying to date Itachi.
What is their motivation towards the people that they care about? Sasuke is looking to get revenge for his entire clan, including his parents being murdered in front of him.
Okay, I had a funny answer.
Sakura thinks Sasuke is cute.
But it's
Well,
more
hold on,
than
Ace.
that, though.
Sasuke's goal is to kill Itachi.
Mhm.
Sakura's goal is to kill it in bed with Sasuke.
Oh my god.
I mean, I thought you would say kiss, but you know what? Different K word still work the same way.
They sound similar.
But yes, Sakura has puppy love, unrequited puppy love, because Sasuke so much as barely acknowledges her, even when they're on the same team, and thinks of her as even less than Naruto in usefulness.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Itachi ignored Sasuke, and he loves Itachi as his brother. So maybe Sasuke's showing his love for Sakura by ignoring her, and Sakura loves him for it.
Sasuke used to love his brother.
Well, yeah, because Itachi's paying attention to him now. That's why he doesn't love him anymore.
The trolling is wild. No.
If Itachi just ignored Sasuke, he'd be so madly in love he can't even stand it.
Okay. Well, Sasuke definitely just loved Itachi because he's his brother, and not because of anything Itachi personally specifically did, but outside of that. Because I don't care if Itachi says, "Oh, I pretended to be your kind, nice older brother." No, you didn't, bro. At no points did we ever see that. But ignore
Yeah, so I think that's largely. So the flashbacks we mainly see are distant Anbu Itachi and whatnot. But it's like before the Anbu stuff.
I know, yeah, that's why I said the ones that we don't see exactly. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because like for example, we see like Itachi just being super nice to baby Sasuke during the Nine Tails invasion.
Yeah, it'd be similar to Boruto with Naruto, to where we don't really see Boruto and Naruto's family life before Naruto becomes Hokage. We just know it was
exactly.
Good.
Yeah, we know it was good because that's like the point.
Exactly. Yeah. But ignoring that, back to Sakura. So Ace, you're gonna laugh because I'm gonna frame this in a disingenuous way, but I still think it's a good point. So you can say that Sasuke's goal meant more and was more meaningful because of what it was, of the impact of it. But I would disagree based on screen time and development alone. Sasuke's doing everything he did for a flashback that we see over the course of like 10 minutes or like a couple episodes, depending on how you look at it. Whereas Sakura's doing everything she did based on all of the development from all of part 1. From the whole series. More than just like one flashback.
I would say that the opposite way. It takes the entire series up to that point to try to sell this Sakura idea, where 10 minutes of what Sasuke went through, everybody understood. There wasn't any need to question it, even go back over it. We get it.
Well, you say that. You say that.
Yeah.
They did go back over, like, all of it.
Oh, they relived that moment because it's that key moment. But as compared to screen time, after the first time you saw what Sasuke went through with Itachi, you understood Sasuke's obsession with Itachi, which Itachi, being the intelligent character he's been shown to be and reported and feeded at, was doing that purposely to motivate Sasuke to be as strong as possible. So that whole play out makes sense. Still has Sakura pining after Sasuke.
But then, okay. But then why are we going to say one's more impactful than the other? Because Sasuke really, really wanted to kill Itachi. But Sakura really, really wanted Sasuke to like him. Like, I'll just, for the sake of this, say that they both had their goals of, like, equal value. They both wanted to complete their goal the same amount.
Okay. So if we're not trying to give the idea of arbitrary value that avenging your entire clan, including your family that were murdered at the hands of the brother that you loved that betrayed you, is an equal goal as to
Just for the sake of simplicity, let's say it is.
having a crush at what, they're 11, 12 years old for the 10 years old. They're in Naruto of having your
12
first
to 13, depending on the part of Naruto.
Because
12 to
the
13.
point of equalizing these goals is to remove the importance of the goal to look at what else is important for the narrative quality of these characters. But
Understandable. So with that,
yes.
even with that being case with the whole idea, how did they go about trying to achieve their goals? Sasuke was constantly trying to push himself to even a reckless hand, including learning a dangerous jutsu from his sensei, who apparently senseis teach children dangerous jutsus all the time in the ninja world. And for some reason, it was weird that Naruto learned the Rasengan and Sasuke had a Chidori, and they were like, "Why would you do that?" I was like, "Bruh, we were child soldiers. I don't know what you're talking about. Everybody here gets something dangerous at some point. We're training child soldiers. Don't know why that was such an odd thing for you." Sakura, on the other hand, other than the few key abilities she showed early on, such as extreme intelligence, not counting Sakura inner or inner Sakura, being able to have great chakra control, which she used in the Land of Waves to learn how to walk up a tree immediately, and really did nothing else with that, and she could break out of genjutsu. Even for trading punches and things like that, combat wise, she's equal to Ino, who has zero physical combat boosting ability of her own. She has her mind transfer jutsu. She's physically the weakest fighter of her team. And she fought her to a draw.
So, okay, well, ignoring that. First of all, Hino landed her specialty. First of all, a special thing that she has because of her special clan, that Sakura doesn't even come from a special clan, and Hino landed it, and Sakura still tied her. She had to overcome that, but ignoring that.
I was going to say that is one great feat, but that goes with her chakra control. She can just basically break out of all genjutsus.
But that's important because it's not like her clan specialty is chakra control. She's just that kind of girl. I don't know.
Well, to be fair,
this is not a
Sakura didn't break that because of chakra control. She just broke that because of inner Sakura.
Inner Sakura might be chakra control. I don't know.
It's not explained. We don't know. My rewrite is that it is, but it's not in the series.
Even if we gave it to her and said, yeah, that was just her amazing inner chakra control fighting off a genjutsu all by itself, she didn't train and learn to do any of that. That was just something that she had from her intelligence, so to speak, or whatever have you. She didn't do anything to gain that ability. She didn't put in any work or effort.
I definitely think that's unfair.
I wouldn't say it's unfair. I just said that she didn't do anything to gain or even improve that ability. She doesn't even actively or intentionally use it.
Well, think about this, because chakra is the combination of mental and physical energies. We see a lot of the physical energies, again, from the guy side of it, but the mental energy is the other half of it. That's the other half of the entirety of all of training.
Correct. What did we see her train mentally to do?
She's like basically top of her class. And also very smart. And like understanding the world helps you to understand genjutsu. Same for ninjutsu in the Boruto era, they say that, and Naruto's the like exception because he's a doofus canonically, is what they say. So it's kind of funny, but outside
so with that being stated, she should understand jutsu, genjutsu, and ninjutsu at one of the highest levels of everybody, not only in her class but in the village as a prodigy. with special Jonin level chakra control. Better than. Because it's not like Akashi's a slouch being able to have all those copy jutsus. He has to have really good chakra control, and Sakura at 12 was blowing him out of the water. Was, as he said, you're better than me at it. It's not like Kakashi. Kakashi could have been gassing her up, so to speak, but she would have to be at a comparable level for him to even make that claim and her to believe it. What jutsus does she know?
So
Before Naruto. How
So-
does she learn to get better at any jutsus?
So first of all, what you said already is the case. She's in the rookie 9. Of the thousands of ninjas, she's like top 9 in the leaf of the Genin at that time. That's already like top 1%. So it would just be in comparison to that top 1%, where does she stand? But she's already like very high up in comparison of the rest of the world at around her age. Outside of that, her chakra control is really all she needs. I mean, Naruto doesn't really have anything besides shadow clones. He just punches all his enemies. It's like the same idea. A lot of characters don't really have much early on. It's kind of fun.
I wouldn't say she's in the 1% just because they were the rookie 9, but I mean, it depends on how many people out there. We can say she's one of the 1% of the rookies that got out there, and with her team, she was able to make it to the individual bouts. Which, that was 2 rounds. 1 round was them as a team surviving in the Forest of Death for a week.
I mean, hey, that's impressive.
True. Overall,
It
it's
is,
not-
but it is important to note though that like you can be carried by your team in that instance, especially in the case of Team 7. I know Team 7 had everything against them in terms of like Orochimaru and whatnot, but ultimately there just was 2 other teams helping them, like Team Inoshikacho and then Team Guy helping them in the Forest of Death, that ultimately carried because, otherwise
and
that
if
would
I
have killed
remember
them.
right, didn't Kabuto help them?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Kabuto with the Rain Ninja too, yeah.
So you
But, like-
basically had a Jonin level Kakashi also assisting them as backup.
Okay, bro.
I mean, he wasn't
Stop
trying
it.
to that level, but yeah, I mean, Kabuto was there. Just
He wasn't like
Oh my
clearing the
God.
way for them like Uncle Crow did for Team Ruby, but he was there to try to make sure that they made it through because that's what Orochimaru wanted.
what's actually kind of funny though is, so technically speaking, when Kabuto like gives Orochimaru his data, he should be like, yeah, honestly, Orochimaru, like, I don't know why you want Sasuke. Like, he couldn't beat those freaking weak ass Rain Ninja without my help. Like, you want to reconsider your body. It's kind of weak, bro.
I mean, Orochimaru even takes weak bodies though if they got special abilities.
Yeah, it's about the potential, but you get the
Mhm.
point. I mean, plus it's
And I
more
mean,
about
look-
what about Sasuke did against Orochimaru than his like lower.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but it'd be really funny, like, Kabuto, like, talks about
Yeah,
He's like, let me go for Genjumaru.
yeah. But I would say obviously you would just remove the crazy like external elements of Orochimaru and look at how they do in the normal parts of the tuning exams without the help, without
It
anything.
depends on who they run into.
Yeah.
Well, even then, it's just about surviving the forest, and as a team, they do that exceptionally well. Like Sakura is obviously contributing her load to that, as we see. But yeah,
That's true. I'll say she contributes at an average level. I wouldn't say that she was exceptional at it. She contributes well, as one would expect for the person who's supposed to be the smartest overall in the team. She
We
doesn't
also-
contribute at a level like a Shikamaru does.
but okay, exactly. We're still comparing Sakura and these girls to the top of the guys, which again, this is a more like guy focused show. The fact we're even comparing it at all, when these girls shouldn't be able to be doing any of this in the first place. Yeah, Team Inoshikacho's probably an exception because Ino's a girl or whatever, and she's part of Inoshikacho. But outside of that, which by the way, the Yamanaka clan is one of the exceptional clans in Konoha, which is one of the exceptional villages. So going up and tying against Ino is actually a very impressive feat. But outside of that, again,
We're not going to pretend that Ino is known as a fighter. We're not even going to begin to pretend that hand-to-hand combat is something that Ino can do at all beyond a basic level.
At least in the
I'm
anime,
transferred
she
you
was
to
implied to
whoever.
be the top girl
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
class.
So there you go. But again, the reason there's a 3-man cell is because Tsunade, and technically Don is the more important one here, they got the 3-man cell established to where there's always a female kunoichi who's the healer. That's all the girls were really taught. They were taught medicines of like flowers in their kunoichi school, which is specifically different from the guys' school. They have them separate schools to where it's a girl-only class, and they're learning about medicines and herbs to be the healers. Sakura's going above and beyond. She is doing that, but she's doing more than just that. So she's not only healing her team well, which is her role, she's going beyond that to do more than she's supposed to be able to where she's actually contending with and being compared to the guys who are supposed to be doing these other things. And we're learned from a young age to do those things. If anything, Sakura, like Lee, is playing catch up, and she's doing it well. She's a genius.
I mean, I would naturally compare anybody in that same range, just like people who are considered fighters, I would compare to other people who are considered fighters. I'm not going to compare Rock Lee to, say, Shikamaru in combat styles because Shikamaru isn't a physical fighter either. Tactician wise, that'd be a whole different conversation to have. I would compare Rock Lee to the Sasuke's, Naruto's, Neji's, Choji's, the physical fighters, so to speak. Even
But-
scaling up to Jonin like Asuma or Kakashi, where they physically get into melee range on a regular basis.
Yes, exactly.
So comparing
but
her
that's
to Shikamaru, who's one of the only other tacticians on the show, or to Tamari, battle-wise, who's also considered a tactician, because that was supposed to be the big thing about her fight with Shikamaru, is that they're both tactical. Cool, but he was able to win through a technicality of his tactical skill, which is all you really need in a battle. Cool.
oh yeah.
So that establishes Shikamaru as a step above Tamari. Combat-wise, Tamari thrashed Tenten in one of the biggest thrashings to power scale her. She completely countered her to begin with, but totally thrashed her into a way to even have a victory pose at the end, which means Tenten was no threat at any time in any way, shape, form, or fashion. It was merely just a way for her to show off.
Well, I completely disagree with that. But ignoring that, I mean, Tamari also has Kekkei Genkai, which just goes burr in Naruto, so ignoring that as well, which Sakura doesn't. But again, what you're saying, I agree with. Sakura's being compared to the fighters. That's fine. Sakura was never meant to be a fighter. The fact she's being compared to fighters in the first place is impressive in and of itself. She's a kunoichi, which is separate from a shinobi, the males who are supposed to be the fighters. She's supposed to be the medic ninja who stays in the back and doesn't fight and stays out of fighting so she can heal people. And she does do that, but she can also, like Tsunade, go into combat, which again is impressive. And again, this would be more about the Leaf Village who does this, since we don't really know the other villages' norms or values or customs or anything, but yeah.
They don't follow that same route. But even with that in the beginning, she's not comparable to the fighters. Because the only person I compared her to fighting wise was Ino. And even then, it was a terrible battle for someone who's supposed to be tactical. She didn't really use tactics well in that fight. It was just a brawl that, and again, she didn't out brawl someone who isn't the brawler or fighter on her team.
And the Ino fight, well,
Specifically,
first of all, that fight was very emotional. It's like if Naruto and Sasuke fought in the prelims, obviously. It's going to be more than just the physical fight there. So that's a huge element going in the fight. Like, Ino literally slapped Sakura at one point. That was not the fight at all. But outside of that, yeah, it's a lot of that. Like, if Sakura was going up against like 10-10 or anyone else really, it would be a very different fight. But no, I disagree. I think Sakura, even outside of the brawl, she was using a lot of tactics at a lot of different parts with her chakra control. She's using it on her feet to speed herself up and slow herself down. She basically has My Hero Academia gear shift, in a way. She's just being tactical, using it.
Right. So, with that, her being a konoichi, which means writing wise, the women are written to be less skillful in combat and to be just healers, all sexist tropes aside. Overall, for the battles. So that means that she technically is not supposed to be as capable as any of the actual male counterparts that she has as a fighter. So she should be a tier below all of them to begin with. Then compared to the other Kunoichi that she actually is grossed with out of her own group, I wouldn't put her. I mean, compared to some of the others, what Hinata? I put Hinata as a far better fighter because of Gentle Fist.
I mean, again, the
She,
Hyuga clan is literally the
I,
prestigious elite clan of the entire village. It's like,
I'm fully aware that they're elite, but if we look at it on that same level, Rock Lee manhandled Sasuke, and they're supposed to be the elite clan.
well, the Uchiha clan was wiped out.
True, but Sasuke is a prodigy even among the Uchiha. He's not a Tachi prodigy, but still was considered a prodigy and top of his class. Rock Lee wasn't top of his class. Neji was top of his class.
I mean, he's also being trained by a guy who's like arguably the strongest in Konoha, realistically the second strongest, but you know.
Understandable, but that's them being trained by their mentors. They got the White Fang. What did Kakashi train any of them to do other than being able to use some chakra control on their souls to be able to stand on water and up trees and upside down and things? What did Kakashi train Sakura in?
If anything, that's even more impressive. If Kakashi's just not training her and she's contending, that means she's just good. Or she's training on her own, which realistically she's doing a lot of that with the mental training or whatever. She's also doing physical training, of course, but you know.
Yes, but contending with who on what level for anything other than brawling with Ino and again in their emotional battle where emotion should have been heightened and she should have been pushing herself even more so than normally.
But that
The
applies to
best,
Ino too.
yeah, the best she could get is a draw with someone who has zero physical feats, who is not even considered physically combat capable on her team. That's the role for Shikamaru and Choji because of their whole combos. Her whole family line isn't supposed to be combat physically like that. That's why they have their their mental jutsu, which is devastating on its own. They don't need anything else. But if you can't take somebody who doesn't have any real physical capabilities or physically focused training, and you're supposed to have enhanced chakra control, we said, right? She has enhanced speed. She has gear shift abilities. She's shown enhanced strength apparently at this point. And she, at best, can draw with Ino after a long, drawn out battle. The best she can do is a draw.
Well, I
Because
don't
it
know if
wasn't
she
like she
has
wasn't trying
enhanced
her
strength at
best.
this point.
She was giving everything she had.
But I'm not sure where you're getting the Ino has no physical capabilities things from. Is that stated somewhere that I'm forgetting or something?
I mean, if we compare her to everybody else in any fight that she's ever had, what physical abilities have you seen her use beyond the very basic that all Kunoichi, who we've already determined Kunoichi is supposed to be a step below any male ninja out there. So she's already a step below any of the males participating in the tournament for tuning exam. And so she's now on a level of an equal with Sakura. And at no point is anything that Ino does have anything that speaks to her physical capabilities. Her entire kit revolves around hitting somebody with her mind transfer jutsu. It's not physically pinning them down, overpowering them, barely being able to dodge them. It's mostly forcing them to be at the right time when she can fire off her jutsu. That's it.
Well, I mean, her jutsu, it's more about the Ino Shikacho combo, which is why it's her specialty. Without Ino Shikacho, then her jutsu's more or less useless.
I wouldn't say it's useless. It's just not as
Yeah,
viable and the same synergies.
of course.
And even with that being her thing to try, and with that being something that Sakura is trying to avoid, because it's not like it's not well known what the Ino Shikacho are for the 17th generation. Everybody in the village knows of an Ino Shikacho combo because that's what they do every generation.
Of course.
But even with that and all of Sakura's high level intelligence, she still gets hit with a slow, straight lined attack.
Well, I mean, you remember why she got hit, right?
I am, but she still got hit.
Well, that wouldn't have anything to do with her physical capabilities.
Understandable. That's more speaking to her tactical abilities. She failed at the thing she's supposed to be kind of good at, being smarter than most other people.
I mean, I feel like pretty much anyone would have got hit by that at that point. Like, 'cause it's more of an off guard thing than a smart thing.
Understandable. But when it comes to tactics and abilities like that, the person who doesn't prepare for those possibilities is the one that normally ends up losing. Tamari was smart and intelligent when it came to fighting Shikamaru. Shikamaru just had a plan that took that into account, and she didn't take into account his.
But like, to
And by
what
the time
extent are we gonna take that for the unpredictable aspect of it? Is Zabuza stupider than Naruto because Naruto landed the play on him with Sasuke?
oh, he underestimated them greatly.
Okay, what
So
about
in
Neji?
that
Is he
case,
actually not a genius and Naruto smarter than him because he landed that uppercut at the very end of his fight?
he is a genius, but he was stupid in the fact that he underestimated Naruto. Had
Okay,
Neji just
okay. We
had
can't be
Neji
saying
simply been all
every
out,
okay. That Sakura underestimated Ino.
Sakura underestimated her one and only rival. Okay. That's what we're saying is that Sakura then underestimated her one and only rival in a head-to-head one-on-one fight. Then okay.
Well, see, I don't like you saying okay, because you letting me win that point makes me sound stupid, which I wasn't expecting you to do.
Not at
Now you're
all. I
getting
mean, under that
defensive.
same idea, that means as a precedent that Rock Lee would underestimate Neji and vice versa. Naruto and Sasuke would underestimate each other.
Sasuke
While
does underestimate Naruto.
Sasuke looks down on Naruto, but he understands how strong Naruto is. He saw it for himself in the Land of Waves. He just still thinks of himself as better. That's two different things.
Well,
He
he
looks
didn't say
down on
9 times
Sakura.
power.
I would say that would be where I'd be the difference. Down on he looks down on Naruto. He completely underestimates Sakura because he considers her to be less than useful than Naruto, who he doesn't consider to be useful at all until he saw how strong he was.